Well, on the phone line right now, we have Kendra McMillan, who is a senior policy advisor for nursing practice and work environment with the American Nurses Association. She's also a registered nurse with a master's degree in public health, and it's always great to get information. Good morning, Kendra. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Just fine. So everybody is scared and frightened. We're getting information from the government that says that, hey, don't worry about this coronavirus. It's under control. Should we believe that statement?
So what we know right now is that our risk currently is still low. There have been cases that have been identified in the United States. However, these are cases that are identified in individuals who were in China or who were in Japan on the Diamond Princess cruise. And so they are what we consider repatriated citizens within the U.S. So they were outside of the U.S., and then they've come back in. They've been closely monitored regarding their testing and their quarantine period and their treatment.
Now, if you listen,
right now, we're holding that the risk is still low.
If you listen to everything that you're hearing, because they're publishing a lot of people that are dying from this virus, is it a more dangerous virus than any other flu? I mean, how are people that get it surviving it?
So I think what's important to remember is that those who are most at risk are those who have compromised immune systems. Of those who we've seen who are dying, they are older individuals who have other diagnoses that have complicated their health. But then, we also have to look at who else is at risk. So per the CDC, pregnant women and, of course, children. Now, is this any different than any other influenza or coronavirus? That is still left to be determined.
But,
what I can say, however, is that coronavirus is not new. While this is a new strain, coronavirus has been associated with common cold or with upper respiratory infections. But we're still trying to figure out how exactly it's spread.
So the CDC is saying that we need to be prepared for the spread here in the U.S. How do we do that? How do we prepare?
So preparedness is key. And, we need to make sure that our healthcare organizations and our ambulatory care organizations are prepared with the necessary protocols and procedures in place so that when someone is identified as having recent travel to one of the countries that's affected or perhaps having had close contact with someone who is symptomatic, what procedures and protocols and personal protective equipment do they have to protect both the patients, but also to protect their healthcare workers?
Now, Kendra, we were talking earlier about how people don't know how to sneeze into the cuff of their arm. We see people sneeze and cough in their hands. And I don't know if there's a video or something that can be circulated that, hey, folks, this is a problem. This is how this gets spread. What you're saying is obviously we have to wash our hands. That's what they're saying. But what you're saying is that this disease, this virus doesn't have to be fatal, correct?
So what we know is that it's spread from what we call respiratory droplets from a cough or a sneeze. So yes, cover your cough and your sneeze. Sneeze in your elbow, not in your hand. Wash your hands. But most importantly, if you're sick, stay home.
So, I find it interesting that a lot of people saying that I read there were some doctors saying that a lot of people may have already experienced the coronavirus. If that is the case, does your body build up antibodies to fight it if it comes back at you?
Right. So I think that is something that's still left to be determined. But what we do know about our immune systems and how our bodies work is that once you've been exposed, then your body kind of has a way of remembering what it's been exposed to. But, I think a lot of the fear comes from the many unknowns that are still related to COVID-19, which is what the formal name is now.
Right.
And, as we get more information, we're doing our best to make sure we're releasing it to the public.
I think what really frightened everybody is that the doctor who blew the whistle, a 31-year-old man, died from it. I'm sorry, Sue, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, what about the symptoms? Could you mix that up with those of the common cold or what? I mean, what are some of the symptoms you can look out for?
Yeah, so the symptoms that, we were seeing are fever or, a cough or shortness of breath. So, respiratory symptoms. And, the symptoms can range from being mild to severe. So, it's when one reports these symptoms, there's more that goes into figuring out what exactly someone has been exposed to. Have they been exposed to or had in close contact with someone who's traveled to one of the countries who's affected, or someone who has come back into the U.S. who was tested positive?
How long?
There is testing in place through the CDC to confirm cases that are suspected.
Final question. How long does this virus stay with you? Is it like a regular flu, or does it stay longer, or it stays in your system forever?
Yeah, so that's another great question that, again, researchers are still trying to figure out. For how long can the virus be spread once someone has it? And, researchers are working around the clock to figure out the true answer to that question with this new strain of coronavirus.
Gotcha. Kendra McMillan, thank you so much. Senior Policy Advisor for Nursing Practice and Work Environment with the American Nurses Association. Also holds a master's degree in public health. She's a registered nurse. I want to thank you for that vital information. Hopefully it doesn't hit here like it's hitting everywhere, but we're expecting it to. We need to be ready. Thank you so much again for your call.
Thank you.
All right.